Hey guys, I'm in the city of Porto in Portugal, up in the north. I've checked into a hotel because I've actually been shooting some property videos. I've just been filming a really awesome property up in a place called Ponte de Lima, which is really cool, and that should hopefully be on the channel. It might be on the channel before this goes up, but if not, do subscribe and make sure you watch it. So the one thing that surprised me about Porto actually is prices have definitely gone up quite a lot in terms of hotels and stuff like that. The last time I was looking at hotels in Porto was last year, and you could pick up hotels for sort of 60 euros, 70, 80 euros a night. Now the cheapest one that I could find, which is the one that I'm staying in here, cost me, well, almost 100 a night. But it is pretty much slap bang in Porto, and there's only a short walk down the road over here all the way to the river. And one of the nice things about being in Porto or being in Lisbon or whatever is that I feel quite safe. You know, I'm walking around with a camera, I'm walking around with a microphone on my neck. It's not a place where I feel sort of intimidated or threatened, or I'm worried that like people are gonna mug me and stuff like that. Check out these buildings. These are quite typical for Portuguese cities. Look at the tiles on the walls and these beautiful ornate iron handrails. So apparently Porto is a very old area. There's archaeological evidence showing that people were living here since 300 BC, and that there was a Celtic settlement that was just on the banks of the Douro River, which is where we're going to go right now. And I've decided it's a bit better for me to walk this than catch a taxi, you know. I kind of get to see all these buildings, and yeah, look at this one over here. Look at these tiles. Amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. Now it is Sunday today, and it is it's quite late now. What's the time now? It's 6:10, so everything's closed. It's quiet. You've probably seen that I've done a lot of vlogs in Lisbon, and it's quite different. Lisbon feels a lot busier. Like, look how empty these roads are. If we were in Lisbon right now, it would be absolutely packed. And I think I really like that about, you know, about Porto. It feels, it's not as hectic, but it's still a big city, and it's still got lots of cool things to see. So on our way down, I'm just having a look at some of these listings over here. What is this one? We've got an apartment over here, renovated, 5+1 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 475,000. This over here, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 335. This one over here hasn't even been built yet. Look at this. This is just like a drawing, 675,000. So prices here are pretty wild. In fact, this is not even in the city. These are prices for places outside the city, apart from this one over here, which is 560,000, 3 bedrooms, 0 bathrooms. No, it can't be 0 bathrooms. Interesting. Yeah, prices all over the world in all the capital cities and main cities. I mean, obviously Porto isn't capital, but prices have been shooting up everywhere, and yeah, Portugal is no different. So just bear with me as we go on this trip, because I don't really know where I'm going and I don't really know what I'm doing. I just know that the river is down in that direction. We got some beautiful bridges, we got some restaurants, cafes, bars. We got some people in the background here. It looks like she's filming some kind of a vlog or something. She's got 2 tripods, she's got a cameraman. I was kind of tempted to say, hello, are you guys filming a vlog? But then I thought, nah, let's go off before the sun goes down. So the main city that I spend time in is Lisbon, and I haven't really been here before, but it looks quite similar. I mean, you know, we've got some really nice sort of bars and cafes and restaurants. Look at the ground, we've got the calçadas, we've got all these old Portuguese buildings like the ones that you can see in the background here. And it's all looking very familiar. I think as I go down towards the river, it's probably going to get quite steep, which is also what I'm used to in Lisbon. But yeah, I just like the fact that I can walk around here. It feels very safe. It's very chilled. There's no stress, no tension like what you get in other big cities. But I guess that could all change as soon as we get down to the river, as soon as we get down to the sort of touristy part, and then there's probably going to be a lot more going on. I mean, it's quite amazing. If you look, this place is closed and they've just left like tables and chairs lying outside and umbrellas and all sorts of stuff, and they're obviously not worried about any of this stuff getting taken. I'm pretty sure that if you left stuff like that outside in Cape Town, you know, or in South Africa where I'm from, it would not survive the night. And also in England, you know, I was there for 17 years. There's no way that you could just leave tables and chairs outside in the middle of the city. All right, we will get there, I promise you. This walk is a little bit longer than I expected. I'm just kind of like, when I looked at Google Maps, it didn't look that long. But anyway, we have to go down here and carry on going down. So yeah, bear with me, and and we're going to get somewhere which I think is going to be really beautiful. I've only seen pictures of this before. So I've just found something called a Cervejaria. Cervezas are beer, so this is like a brewery. Now I would normally go in there because I love beer, but we've got a sunset that's about to happen down by the river, so I really want to get down there. And yeah, it's starting to look a little bit busier. I think we were probably outside of the main part of the city, and as we can see here, look at this. It's definitely, there's a lot more action down here. Oh man, I forgot my sunglasses. This is some bright stuff. So this looks like a nice traditional restaurant. Let's see what they have on the menu here. Oh, they have their Francesinha. This is like Porto's dish, you know. It's an egg on top of like a cheese toasty thing. I've probably got that wrong, but it does have beef inside. So there's beef and there's like an egg and there's cheese and there's all sorts of stuff. And you know that in the 6 years that I've been in Portugal, I've never once tried it. So I should probably give it a go. But I think for now we're going to head on down to that river. I don't want to miss that sun going down across there. Yeah, so if you're new to the channel, Gina and I moved to Portugal about 6 years ago. It was in September. It was actually about a week ago, 6 years ago, that we that we got a leaf blown in our eye. No, that we bought ourselves a camper van and we hopped in this van and we drove all the way to Portugal with our pets and everything. It was literally about a week ago. So 6 years ago we would have been arriving in Portugal, and we would have been basically setting ourselves up in a place called Manguel de Serra, which is the first place where we stayed, and we would have been completely new to this place. So yeah, 6 years, a lot of stuff has changed. And can you believe that in those 6 years, this is the first time that I've actually been walking around on my own here in Porto. And just look at this building. Isn't that incredible here? Wow, some real beautiful architecture here. So this looks like kind of like a square or something very important. I have absolutely no idea where I am, but I mean, just look at these buildings here. And yeah, you can see that this is a real old historic part of it. Wow, just look at that tower over there. There's a bit of a better look of that. Not sure what that building is. I have absolutely no idea. It has Porto written in blue writing just at the bottom there. And yeah, sorry guys, this is not like a very good sightseeing tour because I have absolutely no idea where I am, but just giving you some views of what I've been seeing tonight. Okay, let's get back on track. That's cool. About to get run over. I should pay attention. Pay attention, Kenny. The river is down in that direction. So I've just cheated a little bit and used ChatGPT to tell me who that dude is. Apparently that's Dom Pedro, or King Pedro IV. He was known as the Soldier King. And it looks like they're doing a lot of renovations there, so it's not really open to the public just yet. And that there is about as touristy as we're going to get with this one. Right, so it's definitely getting more busy, more touristy, and yeah, the closer we get to this river. Wow, just look at this building over here. It's got these flowers all over it, and very ornate balconies, and lots of glass. Absolutely amazing. There's definitely a similarity between the city and Lisbon, but this one has a very different feel. I mean, listen how quiet it is around here, and there's a lot of people like all over the place, and it just really doesn't feel as stressful. And you know, not that Lisbon is particularly stressful, but it feels pretty peaceful. You know, I think I definitely need to come back here with a plan, an actual plan of what I'm going to do, and do this place justice, because obviously tonight I'm just walking around like an idiot really. I need to find a place where I can have a beer, because getting thirsty, and not really seeing anything around here where there's tables outside and stuff where, you know, where I can sit down and drink something. What's that? So my watch is telling me I've done 16,093 steps. Yeah, maybe I should have called a taxi, I'm not sure. This has taken a bit longer than I expected. All right, I didn't quite make it to the river just yet, but that's because, well, I've been walking for ages, so I'm going to have a beer at this little tavern in the background here, a nice big Superbock, and then we'll see. Hopefully I won't get copyright struck for this music in the background. There we go, look at this, and how's the music? So looking on the map, we're over here, and we can see the river, which is running through. This is the old bridge over here. We're over here, so I think we're going to meet up with the water just down here. I'm just going to finish this drink, nearly there. Yeah, so once we get down to the river, I'm going to see if I can find something to eat and possibly another beer, maybe some port. I mean, we are in Porto, and that's where port comes from. So who knows? Let's see what happens. All right, the beer has hit the spot, and it's time to walk down to the river. Just look at these buildings, man. Look at those tiles up there. I mean, this is about as Portuguese as it gets, eh? Look at that. All right, now I feel like I'm in a proper big city. We've got life, we've got beautiful buildings, we've got the sun going down in the background that I need to get to. And if we spin around, I mean, just look how cool all of this looks. Incredible. There we go, now we're in the right spot and the sun's going down just in time. What comes up must go down, but I'm actually worried about the other way around because this is a very steep hill. By the time I get down to this river, I'm going to have to walk all the way back up again. I think I'm probably on like 20,000 steps or something now. Starting to feel it. Oh man, I keep stopping and just looking at these beautiful old buildings, these terraced houses with these incredible tiles on them, and they just keep getting better and better and better. That is so cool. And then these ones are a lot more like traditional here on this side. So we're on like the north side of the river, and yeah, it looks like there's a lot going on the south side. We've got a big bridge just on this side. I'm sure we'll get a better view of that in a sec. And a huge, I don't know, is that like a castle or something, or a cathedral? Incredible. All right, we are here. This is exactly what I came down here for, to see this river. Just look at this. This is the Douro River that runs through the country and all the way out to sea through Porto. And look at this fantastic old iron bridge. So we're getting a bit of a reverse sunset here right now because we can see the sun setting, as in we can see the sunlight hitting the south bank, but unfortunately when we go to look in the other direction, we've kind of missed it because the buildings are in the way. Now I'm sure that anyone that knows Porto is probably going to tell me that eating food here is going to be a bad idea because this is going to be very touristy, and this is pretty much just going to be a place where tourists come, have a drink. They're not cared about their Google rating because it's like one-hit wonders as far as people are concerned. But I don't know, there's something special about having a drink right next to the river, something special about having the whole vibe of the place and being able to take it all in. So Google Maps has helped me out and told me what that thing is up there. It's called Mosterio, so Monastery de Santo Agostinho de Serra do Pilar. So yeah, it's basically the monastery of Agostinho de Serra do Pilar. And there's a whole stack of people up there. I'm not sure if my zoom in is going to show them, but there's a whole bunch of people up there. Look at this bridge, it's absolutely full of people. There's like a train or a tram going over it. There's also people walking along the bottom. It's pretty amazing. And just look at these incredible old wooden boats that are going up and down. I think they're all kind of ending now because the sunset's gone. This place has got a cool vibe. So I've opened up Google Maps and I'm just checking out different restaurants. Obviously along this touristy stretch here, I don't expect them to be pretty great. I'm structuring them in order of distance. We got a 3-star out of 5 here, a 4-star, 4.3, 4.5. You know what? 4.5 is not actually bad for Google Maps. A 4.4, 4.2. You know what? It actually looks like, even though this is touristy, I think there might be some good spots. And then there's also some diabolical ones. Look, a 2.4 out of 5 stars, 155 reviews. Ouch. Yeah, I think it's a good idea in this day and age to use your phone, get out Google Maps and have a look at restaurants, especially when you're in touristy areas, because yeah, sometimes you can get ripped off. Wow, this old boat's got some power on it, huh? I mean, I guess this is a river. It's got a current, it's tidal, it goes out to sea. I think it goes out to sea in this direction over here. All right, so I've been walking up and down the strip over here, looking at different restaurants. I'm going to try the Francesinha, which is like Porto's special food. We're at a place here called 29 Marina. And it scores very highly on Google Maps. And I got myself a nice little table. It's super busy, but I got myself a table right over here, and check it out. We got the bridge just in the background. The sun has actually gone down. Do you know, I just noticed that there's cable cars going across there. That is pretty cool. All right, so I'm here with João, and the name of this restaurant is
a Marina.
Marina, okay. And João is going to be giving us some of their port.
So have a patience with me because my English is not good.
It's better than my Portuguese.
So we have here is the port wine.
Okay.
Port wine. We have two types of port wine. I have a tawny and a ruby. I like the tawny because I think the flavors are a little bit more strong.
Okay.
The rubies are like a sweetie. I don't like it so much.
Okay. And is this something for us to try to get the appetite before we...
Yeah, it's like a appetizer.
Okay, perfect. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, look at that. Nice. Well, João, thank you very much. I'm going to sip on that and yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Oh wow, this smells amazing. I never asked for prices, so I might be shocked, but yeah, anyway, here goes some port from Porto. Wow, that is very, very grapey berry. It's like a grapey berry flavor. I'm not a, I'm a beer drinker. I'm not a wine drinker or a port drinker. But this is very tasty and very smooth.
For the port wine, I like a three. They have the cinnamon, we have a kaolin, a Copic, and they have the Burmester.
So this is where all of the port wine is actually made, and
Yeah.
these are where all the barrels were, and they would go onto the ships and they would send them.
Do you see the out place, the white place here, there?
Yes, yes.
It's all for the port wine.
Wow, amazing, huh? Incredible. And Porto is where the port wine came from. Is this the origin, or?
I think the origin is from here.
Okay.
The homemade.
I mean, it sounds like it, right? But I mean, Porto means port. It doesn't mean port wine, but.
Because it's made by here. For the city of Porto.
Okay. Nice. Thank you. I usually stick with beer. I can feel this is doing its job. It's a job that beer doesn't normally do. Beer is something that just kind of like, it hydrates me and keeps me going, whereas this is now, before dinner, it's starting to get a little bit slurry, I think. Look at that, we got the iconic bridge in the background here. Oh!
Your plate is ready.
The food is ready, look at this, this looks fantastic. And
have this Francesinha.
Wow, thank you so much.
It's very hot.
Okay, thank you.
So you can tweet all together. You put the chips and the sauce, it's very good.
It looks fantastic. Thank you so much. It's basically a huge sandwich. It's stacked with bread, cured meat, sausage, steak, ham. It's covered in melted cheese, and it's downed in a rich, slightly spicy tomato and beer sauce. We got some fries on the side. You dip those fries right into the sauce, and it goes really well with the beer. So I got no tripod, I got no cameraman. I'm balancing the camera on the table. I'm hoping that this table doesn't fall over while I'm chopping into this. Oh, it's wobbling. It's about to fall. It's about to fall. Hang on, I got to be a little bit more careful with this. Don't fall over, camera. Bear with me. Oh, it's nearly wobbling off. Okay, look at this. Okay, first bite, Francesinha in Porto. Okay. Okay. This is quite different. I think in the West we've got hamburgers, we've got buns, we got some meat, we've got some, tomato and cheese and stuff like that. This is similar. You've got to eat it with a knife and fork. It's quite messy. It's a really nice sauce, and it's definitely an interesting bite.
So they have here a small beer.
Yeah.
The size is like a pint.
Okay.
And here in Porto we call the fino.
Fino.
Yeah, fino.
Fino means like what? Like finished?
No, fino is like a skinny.
Oh, fine.
Fino is like a skinny.
Skinny. Okay, yeah.
So to have a fino is normal for Portuguese eat the Francesinha com fino, with fino.
Ah, okay.
Beer with the Francesinha.
Okay. And this has almost got like a bit of a beer sauce, like the sauce is like...
the sauce is like a vegetables, a meat, a beer, and
tomato and spice.
Yeah. And the name is a piri piri. It's like a sauce, a hot sauce.
Ah, okay. But I mean, it feels like piri piri. It's like a chili, a chili, yeah.
It's a chili.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so far so good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, there we go. Job done. Now, there wasn't quite enough sauce to finish all these chips, but it was fantastic. I'm definitely full. I hardly even hit my beer. And it's an interesting dish for sure. I'm not sure if I'm the right person to really be commenting on the Francesinha. I mean, I personally feel like it's almost like a Portuguese take on the hamburger, but covered in sauce. You know, you got your bread, you got your meat, you got your chips, you got your beer on the side, and yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely worth a try. But you definitely need knives and forks to eat it with, unlike the hamburger. Look at the change in lighting. The bridge is all lit up. The other side of the river, the south side, is all lit up. I can see the cable cars are still running, which is pretty amazing. Joao, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
It was fantastic. It's Ken.
Ken, oh,
Ken.
nice to meet you, Ken.
The channel is OKportugal. Have a look at the video because you're going to be in there.
Welcome for the Marina.
The Marina.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ciao.
Thank you, man. Ciao.
So this bridge looks absolutely fantastic at night time. Just look at that. But do you know what? I'm not going to go across there tonight because I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning. I've been walking all over the place, filming all sorts of stuff. And I'm hoping that tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to get a chance to go across here and to show you guys this side of the river. Right now, it's nighttime, it's dark, and you can't really see what's happening. But it does look pretty beautiful. Wow, check this out. This thing is called a funicular. And I don't know if you can see, look, it's going up here. It's kind of like a tram that goes up. It's like halfway between a tram and a cable car. It uses a cable to pull this car all the way up these train tracks that are going all the way up the mountain here. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. I did a vlog with Gina in a place called Nazaré where we went on one of these funiculars. And quite recently there was a really tragic funicular accident here in Lisbon, not in Porto. And yeah, it just shows you just how steep these things are and how old these things are, because they're actually, like, the one in Lisbon was over 100 years old. The cable snapped, came running down, and yeah, it was a serious tragedy. Do you know what, actually, having said that, this is a lot more modern than the one in Lisbon. This is quite a modern construction. It's incredibly steep. I mean, hopefully the camera's just picking up just in the background here, just how this just goes up the side here and up to the top of the bridge. But you know what? The reason why this one's still running is because this is not one of the old ones from 100 years ago. This is one of the new ones. And I reckon it is probably pretty safe. And we can see there's a whole bunch of people going on here. And when I say pretty safe, I mean, I don't remember the last time one of these things crashed. So yeah, check out the funicular if you want. I'm going to stick to solid ground though. And speaking of solid ground, we're heading on a little bit further along the river here, just in the background. I'm going to head up some stairs and I'm going to climb my way back up to the sort of city part, the non-riverside city part of Porto. And before we get there, just look at this monastery. Look how it's all lit up. This is incredible here. And this bridge from the other side, iconic. Right, I believe I'm in for a bit of a climb here. Yeah. Okay, we got some stairs, and I think these stairs are going to turn into other stairs. Yes, they are. And then I believe these are going to turn into even more stairs. And it's at times like these where I wish I took the funicular. Oh my goodness, look at this. Up in Castelo Branco area, everything's pretty flat over there until you get to the Serra da Estrela Mountains. So I'm not really used to doing these stair climbs. Sure. All right, well, I'm burning off the Francesinha, burning off the port, burning off the beers. We're meeting up with the bridge. I just realized that this camera has a low light setting so you can see a little bit better. Now maybe people can tell me in the comments, are people actually living in these buildings? I mean, it kind of looks like down here we are just in this touristy city part, more like shops, commercial warehouses. It doesn't really look like there's actually people staying and living in these terraced houses here down by the river. Look at this, we got all these little passages and roads going up. This is so cool. It kind of reminds me a bit of El Fama in Lisbon. El Fama, where you get these little roads and lots of climbing and lots of steps. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Just carries on going. All right, so I'm going to be interested to see what my watch says after this. I've definitely been putting the steps in today. Bridge in the background, all the steps, more steps. If you're on the north side of the river, don't go the way that I did. Start on this side, walk down the steps, go all the way to the other side, and then you don't have steps to climb up to get yourself back up. I think I did this wrong. In fact, I know I did this wrong. It looks like I'm not the only one out of breath. People much younger than me are also out of breath. Look at this. I mean, this is like straight out of a movie, a medieval castle. I mean, if you want to see castles, if you want to see ancient cities that are 2,300 years old, you want to see beautiful bridges and rivers, well, now you know where to go. You want to go to Porto. And you know what's really weird is when you walk past and you hear British accents and you're in the middle of a city in Portugal, but you know, yeah, it is what it is. This is like a tourist mecca, well, like a tourist capital. So you are going to hear a lot of that. You're going to hear Germans, South Africans, Dutch, Australians, Americans. I'm missing out a lot. I think the blood is rushing to my head. Look at that, it's still pretty early. It's only 8:57 and I'm at some like alternative electronic nightclub. It's pretty early, but people are here. And after the stairs, I need a little bit of liquids to help me get back to the hotel. I think I might stay out a little bit later. I'm not sure exactly. They've got some music here tonight. They've got like a nightclub downstairs here, which is like an old stone kind of warehousey type space with a whole bunch of speakers in there and subwoofers and stuff. And I believe tonight they're going to be playing some Brazilian funk music. I'm not sure. So anyway, I might stay. I mean, if I do, I've got to wait another 2 hours. Other alternative, I go back to the hotel, fire up Netflix on my tablet, watch a couple of series, have an early night. Who knows? I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet. I'm running out of battery. I've only got 5% battery left on this camera, unfortunately, so hopefully I have enough to get us through the night. But yeah, this is this place downstairs. I'm not sure what it's called. And then this over here is, wait, let me put my beer down. This is where the music's going to be played tonight. And check this out here. This is like a little dungeon type bar thing here. We got turntables, we got some music. Yeah, I've decided I'm gonna have an early night. You know, this is a cool city, man. I mean, I'm surrounded by beautiful old buildings. I'm surrounded by amazing graffiti. And normally, if I was to walk in another city in the world, another first world city in the world, and I was in a quiet spot like this, late at night, no one around, kind of like a little bit dodgy in a way, I would feel nervous. I'd feel like, you know what, now's not a good time to pull out your camera, pull out your phone. But I feel safe here and I don't feel like anything's going to go wrong, you know. I mean, obviously my version of going wrong is, you know, coming from South Africa, having lived in Joburg and Cape Town, my version of going wrong is a lot more severe than what other people think could potentially go wrong. But yeah, this place feels safe. It's time to go back to the hotel. Good morning. Just about to check out of my hotel and drop my camera bags and stuff at reception, because checkout time I think is like 11 o'clock and it's 9 o'clock now. I want to go and head out for breakfast. I don't have to rush back here and check out of the hotel. So yeah, let's get this part sorted. So it's Monday morning and yeah, it looks a little bit different here. A little bit busier. There's more traffic, more cars. Not as quiet as it was on the weekend. I've left my bag at reception and first order of business to find a breakfast. I'm an absolute sucker for Eggs Benedict. So yeah, apparently according to Google Maps, this is the best one. It's called 7th Brunch Porto. I tell you, I don't know how the hell we used to travel around before we had apps like, you know, Google. And how the hell did we used to navigate? I mean, I do remember back in South Africa having old paper maps, like these huge foldable maps that, like, while you're driving, you have to unfold this massive thing and try and figure out where you are. Thank goodness for technology. On my search for breakfast, I found something quite interesting just in the background here. So if you have a look at this mural over here, it's got a picture of one of the Portuguese caravels, and it's got some of the explorers and kings and things like that. And on the left, it says the words Portugal, and that is actually where the name Portugal came from, so Portugal. And it all started with a Celtic settlement at the banks of the river around 2,300 years ago, and then it became a Roman settlement, and it was called Portugal, Portus meaning port. And well, that's basically where the word or the name Portugal came from, and where the name of the city came from. Thank you, ChatGPT. So I've seen quite a few of these things in the background here, and I asked my little AI assistant what on earth it was, and apparently it's called a kiosk. And they basically came around in the 1800s, and they're places where they would serve like drinks and refreshments and things like that. You find them around parks and you know, squares and things like that, and people would get drinks like ginger or glasses of wine or beer or hazelnuts or things like that. And it was a cheap and convenient way for people to get fast food and snacks and things in the city. All right, sat-nav, lead us to breakfast. I think we're nearly there, down this road somewhere. It's so cool to be here, man. So you guys probably watched my video recently about the fire. We had like a huge fire in Castelo Branco. I'm not from Portugal, obviously, but I have been living here for the last 6 years, and I stay in the Castelo Branco district. We had these massive fires over summer, and I did this vlog. I'm going to put a link up on the screen here so you guys can see it if you want. And the fire nearly got to our farm. It was pretty crazy, and it was quite scary because there was such thick smoke, and we couldn't really see where the fire was at any given point, and we didn't really know how severe it was and whether we should evacuate. And one of the saving graces was these cameras that we have. It's security cameras by a company called Reolink, and one of the very first cameras that they gave us was a camera that was mounted looking at the direction of where the fire was coming from, and we could actually see the hot spots using infrared during the day. It would punch through the smoke, and we could actually see where all the hot spots were. So it was quite handy because you know, obviously with all of the smoke, we don't know how close the flames are, and this was actually telling us exactly where all of the hot spots in the mountain were. Oh, look at this, we've got a beer arriving.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so this is Portuguese beer here.
Yes.
Excellent. And this is called Bohemia, and it's a special breakfast beer. Yeah. No, it's not actually a special breakfast beer, but I'm going to have it for breakfast. But yeah, basically, Reolink, since that video, have given me another camera. So it's a proper pan, tilt, and zoom camera, meaning that it can pan from left and right, it can tilt up and down, it can actually go around in a full 360, and it has an amazing zoom. Now, instead of just a digital zoom where you kind of zoom in and it kind of gets blocky, which is like the old camera I had, I could zoom in, but it was really pixelated. This has a proper 16 times optical zoom. So it's an insane zoom. I can actually zoom in onto the top of the mountain in the background, and I can actually see like the posts on the top of the mountain. I can see villages on the mountain. I can see all of the burnt areas on the mountain from where the fire came over. I mean, it's an absolutely incredible zoom on this camera. So, you know, I feel pretty good having this because, you know, if there's another fire, I can actually see exactly where it is on the mountain. And, you know, it seems every year that we're getting these fires. It's more and more and more. If I can put that camera into infrared mode, I can actually see through the smoke and see exactly where the flames and the hot spots are. And also right now that I'm in Porto and I want to keep an eye on the house, I can open up the Reolink app and I can see all of my cameras up on the screen here, and I can basically punch into whichever camera I want, and I can go through the history. So I can actually look at all of the history of what the cameras have been recording, if they've been detecting motion. So if they've detected animals or people or cars. And for instance, I can go on here and I can have a look at the event history, and I can search. I can filter it and search for people. And then when I do that, I can basically find out if Gina's been walking around. So I know that she's safe. And then if we scroll through here, we can find Gina walking around, which is pretty cool. And then I know that Gina, 5 minutes ago, was walking around on the farm. She's obviously safe. The farm is safe. And yeah, all thanks to Reolink. So if you are interested in buying one of these cameras, the 16-time optical zoom one is amazing. Otherwise, there's a whole bunch of different ones. Have a look at the link in the description below. I'm not sure what the Portuguese equivalent for a breakfast is, but anyway, it doesn't matter where I go. Oh, look at that. The eggs are perfect. Doesn't matter where I go, I always do eggs Benny. Oh, look at this. I don't know, wherever I go, every country in the world. Now that was a pretty awesome breakfast. I'm all fueled up. Apparently there's no such thing as a breakfast beer, but I beg to differ. It set me up nicely for this little adventure. I'm going to head on down to the river again where we went last night, and this time I want to go onto that bridge. Yeah, this is such an awesome city. It kind of reminds me a bit of Lisbon. It also reminds me a bit of Cape Town, like some old parts of Cape Town where we get these old buildings and stuff. And in Cape Town we also have this, well, very steep roads and lots of sort of mountainous roads. Come on, sat-nav, show me where we're going. I think it's this way. So the reason I want to go onto the bridge is because I want to go to the south side of the river. I've spent all of my time up here on the north side, and there's a lot of cool stuff down there. All right, this is looking familiar. I was walking here yesterday. Jeez, I mean, just look at these buildings. Imagine what an apartment in a building like this would cost, especially with the way that prices in all major cities around the world are just going crazy. I mean, I think maybe 15 years ago you could have probably picked up an apartment there for quite cheap. But yeah, the lucky people that actually did own those and buy those. Here's another one of these kiosks, although this doesn't look like an original. This is made out of concrete. And another little kiosk just over here. This one's got a bit more of a Moorish design. Yeah, I'm guessing these were like the 7-Elevens of the past. Little convenience stores. Yeah, so I'm not the only one walking around with these phones. There's like, most people are just walking around with their phones looking for directions. I mean, I think this place is just full of tourists, really. And I guess it's probably because it's so expensive to live in the middle of a city like this that, well, most people can't unless they're on holiday. Yeah, I walked through here last night, actually. I saw this building. It's got these words in it. It says, Vestir bem e barato só aqui. What is that? Dress well. Dress well here. Dress well and cheaply here. I guess that's some kind of department store or something. Walking around here is so different from walking around in central Portugal, in Castelo Branco. Especially the fact that there's so many hills all over the place and it's quite flat where I live. But it's nice to see all of this life. It's also nice to have all of these options of places to go and food to eat and things like that. Very, very, very refreshing. Oh look, another kiosk. Yeah, I'm really not sure I could do a walking tour like this where you all have to walk around following a person with a signpost. I don't know, I think it's much more fun to trailblaze your own way, and it's so easy with like a phone, just an Android or an Apple phone, and you just go onto Google Maps. You can read reviews, you know, see, basically just search for whatever, well, like whatever you want, like just put in sites or restaurants or the best eggs Benedict or whatever it is. It pops up on screen. It gives you a whole bunch of different options. You can sort it by people's like reviews and all sorts of stuff. And that's how I like to find my way around. I'm not going to follow someone with a little placard or something, you know. Check it out. This guy's got a Australian mountain dog. He looks a bit different from our one. Eddie is a bit smaller, but that's yeah, that's quite a typical Serra da Estrela mountain dog. I love our dog Eddie. He's an awesome dog. He's an amazing farm dog, incredibly protective of his family and his property. But yeah, if you're new to dogs, you've never had a dog before, I wouldn't recommend one of those. It's a tough breed, you know. It's a dog that's bred to guard and defend, and if you don't know what you're doing with it, you could end up with a very dangerous animal. Oh wow, okay, so this is the top of the bridge here. Okay, so now we're about to see something pretty iconic. This is where the trams come through. Oh, look at this. It sounds like one's about to come through right now. And is that a tram? It looks like a train, not a tram. And then we have the entrance to the bridge. Last night I was obviously at the bottom of the bridge, and the thought of climbing all the way up there after all of the steps I did yesterday would have been too much. I'm glad I'm getting to see it now. This is just absolutely perfect weather for it too. And we've got this monastery. Well, it's called a monastery, but it almost looks like a castle. I mean, these are sort of like protections and fortifications where you would have archers firing arrows and stuff down. Are these trams? I mean, these look like trains, right? Amazing. Porto Metro. Right, let's not get run over by a train and or a tram or whatever it's called. And let's have a look at this side. of the bridge. Wow, from up here you can really see here. That is absolutely epic. And then looking back up at the city, this is the north side on the right here. This is the south side of the river. So this bridge was built in like 1881. It took a couple of years to build. It was designed by the partner of Gustav Eiffel. So the guy that designed this bridge was the guy that made the Eiffel Tower, and the partner of the guy that made the Eiffel Tower. And so it's quite similar, and it's like cast iron or wrought iron sort of arches and things like that. And I was reading earlier that when it was finished, it was actually the longest bridge in the world. It was like 172 meters, if I remember correctly. So if we look down at the bottom here, we can see these flat bottom boats, and they've got the old port wine barrels in them. And hopefully I'm going to be able to show you a little bit more about that later, because on the south side of the river, there's a whole bunch of what they call caves. They're basically wine cellars. So the wine was made in the Douro Valley, I'm guessing in this direction, back here, about 100 kilometers along this, well, it's like along the slopes of the Douro River, and they would be growing grapes and things there, producing really amazing wines. And then they would transport those wines using these flat bottom boats that you see at the bottom here, and they would transport them across to these wine cellars that they call caves. And the reason that they would do that is because there was a really good climate on the south side of the river. It doesn't get the sun, it's a little bit cooler than the north side, and you would end up with a really great place to mature your wines and turn them into ports and things like that. From up here we can actually see a couple more bridges. There's a concrete one just in that direction that was actually built in 2003. That's actually when I moved to the UK. And then a little bit further from that, there's another bridge that's also designed by Gustav Eiffel and his assistant, which is kind of behind that. I'm not sure if you can see it. And that's another cast iron bridge. Apparently that's not in use anymore. It used to just carry trains. You see that, guys? I'm starting to give you some more facts. Yesterday I wasn't prepared. I'm starting to get prepared. Oh my goodness, look how cool that looks. That is so stunning. Look at the wake that boat's making. Oh, last night, this is where we were at that funicular thing. Look at this trail, or this track that goes all the way up the hill here. That is pretty wild. And then just to the side of it, we can see all of the stairs that I climbed down last night, or climbed up last night. That was a hell of a workout. You know, I haven't been on the metro here. When I'm in Lisbon, I often hop on like trains and tubes and things like that. But I don't really know Porto. You know, this is like my first time here, so I haven't really tested it out. I will definitely visit Porto again. I mean, this is like, you know, for a short trip, for walking around and not really knowing where you're going and stuff, this has been pretty amazing. I'm definitely keen to come and check this place out again. Okay, so this is the monastery over here, and I think I got confused earlier because I saw the monastery behind these castle walls over here that have the you know, fortifications and stuff. So yeah, the monastery didn't have fortifications. It was that thing. Do you know this river is pretty huge? There's actual cruise ships and things that you can take. As you can see here, big ones that you can stay in overnight, and they take you all the way up the Douro River. They're actually very expensive though. I mean, the last time I checked, you're looking at thousands to go for a couple of nights, and it takes you up through the country to the east along the Douro River. So that's something that I haven't tried. I do love boats. You know, I think it would be a shame for me not to go on one of these boats a little bit later. But for now, I have my eye set on something else, a little bit different, which is just in front. It's called, what is it called? Teleferico. Teleferico. Terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying and terrific at the same time. That's basically going to take us from all the way up here, all the way down to where we see all of these old wine cellars, and we can see all of the boats on the side here. We can actually see, look at these with all the port casks. Yeah, let's go down there. I mean, I should probably go up here, but to be honest, it's going to be a hell of a climb. I mean, I've like walked so much, and I'm feeling a little bit lazy. So let's go downhill. Downhill is better. I tell you what, I couldn't have chosen better weather. I mean, I didn't choose the weather chose me, but how magnificent is this, eh? It's actually the first day of spring. It's the 22nd of September, and yeah, it's still t-shirt weather. Even though we're up in the north of the country, it's about 21 degrees Celsius. It's beautiful, it's sunny, there's no wind, and it's perfection. Here we go. Bem-vindo. Oh wow, look at this thing. So it's using little rubber wheels. Oh no, not for the whole thing. It's only using it now for while the cable car is doing this little slow turn here. It's got solar power, solar panels. Hopefully the sun carries on shining. Right, let's get ourselves a ticket. So that was €7. €7 for a 5-minute trip, but I think it's going to be worth it, you know, because I've never, oh wait, I'm going the wrong way. I've never done this one, obviously. And I mean, going on a cable car, you're just going to see things like you would never normally see them in a city. There we go, we are through. So this is one cabin. I want to kind of see if I can get it on my own, so I'm not sure. I think I'm going to take this one on my own, yeah. All right, I've got it all to myself.
Olá, bom
Thank
dia.
you. Bom dia.
In English?
Yes.
Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Here we take a photo without any commitment. In the next station, you decide if you like, okay?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, cheers. I think I have enough of my own photos, I'm not sure. Wow, look at this huge wheel here. This is a huge gear that is basically turning this cable. Wow. Okay, well here we go. We're going a little bit faster than I expected. We can see the river just below. And now my stomach is starting to drop. Wow, this is amazing, huh? Look at that. It's like being a drone, basically. And from here you can really see the bridge a little bit better. Yesterday we were only seeing the bridge at night time. And we can see all of the little boats on the side here. I think we're going to walk past these in a bit. I want to try and see if I can get onto one of these boats. But yeah, I can highly recommend this. Look at these little cabins. This is what I'm in. $7. Saves you a lot of walking. And the view is pretty spectacular. So below us here, these look like the big warehouses, the warehouses where they store all of the wines and they store all of the ports. And there's things like Ruby port, which apparently they don't need much storage, but there's things like tawny ports, and you actually want those to stay in barrels and you want those to mature. And so apparently these places are perfect. I wonder what this is. Porto Cruz, beautiful building. Yeah, I think when you're in Lisbon, you definitely have to do the ride along the riverfront as well. This is quite a nice one because you go pretty high up, and it actually saves you a lot of walking. And if I want to get back up in that direction, $7. It's probably what an Uber would cost me to get up there, you know, so it's pretty good. Geez, now that is a fancy riverboat. Look at that thing. Amazing. So that's one of those ones where you're going to get your own hotel room. There's good food. They take you all the way up and down the river for a couple of days. Okay, now we can see the north side of Porto in all of its glory. Wow! I mean, this is magnificent. To think this city is 2,300 years old. Well, when people first settled here. And then the Romans came, and now look at what we got. You just don't get a better view than that. So here are the fronts of these wine cellars that they're called caves. Really fancy looking buildings. And as you can imagine, they would take all the wine there and mature it in these oak barrels, the wines and the ports and things, and mature them. And before I mentioned how it's a little bit cooler in this side of the river. It's on the south side of the river. And the reason it's cooler is because it's on the south side. It's not south facing. It doesn't get all that sun baking it. So you've got a much cooler, more sort of cool and damp environment. And apparently that's the perfect place to mature oak casks and things like that. So these different wine cellars, they do like tours and wine tasting and stuff like that. But I mean, it's, what's the time? It's like 20 to 11 in the morning. The last thing I need to be doing while I'm here today is getting completely sloshed on wine. I've got so much to do and so much to see. So we're going to give that a skip. This is one of the most famous ones here. It's called Burger King. It's one of the most famous ports in Portugal. What on earth is this doing over here? You know, next to all of these grand old wine cellars. So apparently this river used to be full of rapids. Further upstream, they've obviously made a lot of dams on the Douro River, and that's kind of calmed it down a bit, but this was really turbulent and full of rapids. So the best type of boats to deal with this were these over here, and apparently they're called Rabelos. and they've got a flat bottom, and that flat bottom stops them from digging into the water and getting, you know, tossed around by the rapids. So flat-bottomed boats, easy to steer, and these are the vessels that basically took these oak barrels all the way from the wine farms down here. And as I'm looking at these ones, they've only got about 6 barrels in them, and I guess they're just decorative, but apparently back in the days, these boats are about 20 to 25 meters long, and these boats would carry like between 50 and 100 barrels of port, all the way from the wine farms up in the Douro region, all the way down here to sit and mature in the warehouses, well, not behind me here, but behind this building. It's kind of sad that this tradition is lost. You know, they're using trucks and trains and things, but apparently once a year they have a race in the Douro River, so they race these Rabelos around, and it's called the São João Festival. So if you come down here during that time, you're going to get to see these guys racing. How's this place? It's called the Fantastic World of the Portuguese Sardine. I got a feeling that whichever sardine is inside this building right now isn't having a fantastic time. That is pretty epic and iconic. Look at that. The cable car we got, Sandeman, one of the big famous caves, and a really epic looking street just going down next to it. Yeah, this is amazing. Quite a sight. Alright, so this is all beautiful and everything, but you know, it's quite touristy. I want to kind of go somewhere where I can just chill and be in a little bit more nature. I'm going to go to a place called Matosinhos, and I can get an Uber there for €10.91, and it's apparently quite a long drive. On the train it's going to take me, well, I'm not sure if it's a train, I think it's like a mixture of a train or a bus. It's about 35 to 40 minutes, so €10 isn't bad, and I'm going to get to a beach. Right, so we are in an Uber taxi. It's one of the best ways to get around. What is your name?
My name is Gurjeet.
Gurjeet?
Yes.
Gurjeet, okay, pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much.
It's going to save me a lot of walking. I've done a lot of walking for the last 48 hours. My calf muscles are actually quite sore from climbing all the steps and stuff. And now I think it's time to go somewhere and chill out. If we go to the beachfront, I think we're going to see, obviously, the Atlantic Ocean, but we can also get some lunch there. And here we're going across the bridge at the bottom in the taxi. Hopefully the camera's showing you the view here. It's pretty epic. So do you live in Porto?
Please?
Do you live in Porto?
Yes, I live in Porto.
Oh wow, it must be very expensive to live in the city.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Have you been here for a long time?
4 years.
4 years, okay. How is your Portuguese language? It's
Yeah, a little more, yeah.
pouco.
Yeah, pouco.
Yeah, it's a difficult language to learn, huh?
Yes, that's very difficult.
And where are you from?
I'm from India.
Okay. Whereabouts in India?
Punjab.
Punjab, okay. Yeah. Do you like Portugal?
Yeah, Portugal is beautiful. Yes.
It is, yeah. What is Punjab like? It's nice?
Punjab?
Yeah.
Badia.
Okay. What is that? Badia? What?
Badia. Badia is nice.
Nice. Ah, okay. So I'm just chatting to the Uber driver here, and he's telling me that in India, where he's from, there are how many languages? 120.
120 plus.
120 plus.
Plus languages.
And you can speak how many of these languages?
I think I speak three languages.
What are the name of them?
The Punjabi,
Yeah.
Hindi,
Yeah.
little more Rianbi.
Rianbi. Okay.
Rianbi, yeah, Gujarati, Marathi, not too much language. So
Jeez. And there's what, about 150 million people in India, huh?
yes.
Wow, that is crazy, huh? Yeah, so I'm worried about learning one language, Portuguese, and if you're in another country like India, imagine there's 120 languages, 150 million people. That's difficult. Gurjeet, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, okay.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
I hope you have good trips and lots of tips.
Thank you so much. Yeah, okay.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Now that was a cool Uber driver. Good guy, gave him a nice big tip. Look where we are. We're at the beach and I can smell it. Just a little bit further to go and I should be able to see the lovely sand. Back in the days when I lived in Cape Town, even if you were in the southern suburbs, you're only like, I don't know, 15-20 minutes away from going to the beach. So I spent like my whole life being very close to the sea, and then obviously I moved to England for 17 years, and there's not really any beaches there. You know, you get like sort of stony, rocky type, Brighton type beach, and then some kind of beaches in Kent where it's also just like don't know, not very pleasant. And then you get places that have these beautiful white sandy beaches and freezing cold Atlantic Sea. This is called Matosinhos Beach. Apparently it's 1 kilometer long, so it stretches all the way from, I believe that's the port over there, and then all the way across down in that direction, so 1,000 meters long. But yeah, right now is the first day of autumn, so it's not really beach vibes, you know, but it's nice and warm. I think I'm going to walk a little bit. I'm going to find a place where I can sit down and I can get myself a little drink and I can figure out where I am and what I'm doing. You know, it's really nice to see seagulls again. I can't hear any seagulls, but I really miss that sound. You know, in South Africa we have like lots of seagulls and we have albatrosses, and there we go, I just heard a seagull. And the weird part is when I go to Lisbon, I never see any seagulls. It's really odd, especially when I go onto the South Bank and I go to Almada and Costa Caparica and stuff. I don't see a single seagull. It's really odd. But out here, there's a whole stack. I guess it's probably because they probably have a lot of sardines out here. One of the things I never learned to do when I was younger was surfing. And I mean, I lived in the ideal place for it, you know, back in Cape Town. But I do actually fancy grabbing a board and at least having a little paddle, you know, even if I can't stand up at this stage. But I think, obviously not on this trip, I'm not carrying a waterproof camera with me, but I'd love to come back and maybe sign up to one of these little surfing schools and go out there and give it a go, you know. I can see the guys on their boards just out here. I guess there's surf schools and stuff. To be honest, it doesn't really look like there's any waves today, so I don't think anyone's going to be standing up at this point. But man, I can't think of anything better than, imagine just sitting in a really beautiful place, floating on the sea on a board, and you've got some beautiful sets of waves coming past you, and you've got no other thoughts in your brain, no stress. You're just floating in the sea, and every once in a while you find the perfect wave to ride. I mean, I can't think of anything better than that, eh? Well, actually, hang on. Unless there was beer involved somehow, and then it would be better. Yeah, so I'm kind of walking along here. These all just look like surf schools and stuff. I'm not sure. I'm kind of looking for a place to sit down. Google Maps is going to tell me, I guess. Figure out a good place for us to go. And yeah, and then after that, after I've had something to drink, then I'll get my toes in the sand. And I think I got a pair of shorts in here as well. Right, I found something, and it's just down in that direction. Okay, so the back of this ablution block looking building over here is apparently a bar. So let's see what this place is all about. Oh, it's a restaurant as well. I thought it was a bar. Okay. Well, I don't think I'm going to eat food here. I think this is going to be a bit of a tourist trap, really, because it's like right on the sand. I don't think it's a good idea to eat at the places that kind of run off the fact that they have the view, you know. So I think I'm going to have myself a beer here. It's still a little bit early. We've got about an hour and a half till lunch, and then I'm going to head somewhere where we can find some nice, authentic Portuguese seafood. Ah, olá. Não faz mal. Queria uma caneca.
Uma
por favor.
caneca?
Sim.
Ok.
Obrigado. Ah, muito obrigado.
Nada.
There we go. This is called a caneca. It's basically a mug of beer. Superbock. They like Superbock up north. In Lisbon, sort of in the center of the country, they like Sagres, and it's like football teams, you know. If you drink the wrong beer in the wrong place, the guys get upset with you, but I like all of them, really. I don't have a favorite. As long as it's cold and crisp and refreshing. Right, so Google Maps tells me that there's a market, like a market in Matosinhos. I'm going to go there because I think they're going to have some places where I can get some grilled or fried squid calamari, which I absolutely love. I know it's pretty sacrilegious to not go to the beach, to not go to the sand, to not, you know, get into the water, but today I'm wearing flip-flops, and they're actually digging into my feet a little bit because I've been doing tons of walking, and the last thing I want is to get all blisters and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to do the beach another time. It's quite windy right now, and I'm hungry, so yeah, here's what it is. In South Africa, one of my favorite things to eat is calamari. I know it's not like a South African dish, but anyway, when I was a kid I always used to order calamari. My mom tells me now that in South Africa the calamari is all being fished by the Chinese and all going to China, and that all the calamari that you actually eat in the restaurants don't even come from South Africa anymore. So yeah, it's kind of a shame, but Whenever I can, I always try and get calamari. It's one of my favorite things. So I was heading to the market, but I mean, look at this place, A Peixaria II. Look at that, it's proper grilled fish happening right here. It's a good sign that, you know. This actually looks very, very nice. And grilled on coals as well. This is exactly how you want your seafood. Looking good. And I just heard the guy say the word lulash. Lulash means calamari or squid. So let me see. I don't know if it's going to be the kind of calamari that I like, which is the fried calamari rings. But if they're going to be cooking it on some coals, I think this could be the place. Right, so they have lulash grellas, which is grilled calamari. They have a half portion for $14.80, full portion for $22.80. I'm not exactly looking for grilled. I would prefer fried, but let's see. I mean, the market's close by, but if the market's not looking good, I think I'm going to come back to this place, because I mean, this looks legit. Look at that. Yeah, this is really different, huh? This is very different from Lisbon. You know, now we're down by the coast. I mean, I guess like in Lisbon, you get down to Cascais and stuff like that, and then you start to see some of the coast and some of the Atlantic, but you know, this is a very, very different vibe. I like it. Now, these are trams. Although they look like trains, they're definitely trams. They're running through the city here. I wonder if you can get a tram from here all the way to the bridge where the trams are. You probably can. Geez, it's quite windy here. After about 20 minutes of walking, I think this looks like the market. Apparently it closes at 2 o'clock. And they should have places there where I can get some fresh food. Wow, it's quite quiet in here. I was expecting a lot of action and noise and stuff. Beautiful flowers. It's really quiet in here. Jeez. I wonder where the food is. I mean, obviously this is all fresh produce. I'm looking for something a little bit more on the cooked side of things. Everything seems to be covered up as well, which is weird because, I mean, it's only 3 minutes past 1. They close at 2. So, kind of unusual. Ah, okay, it looks like there's another section downstairs. Yeah, and then upstairs here was probably all the veggies and stuff. Downstairs, what do we have down here? It's also empty. What? How strange. Maybe it closes early on a Monday. It's only 1 o'clock. You would think that this restaurant would have people. How weird. Right, anyway, I wanted to show you a restaurant. I mean, I didn't want to show you a restaurant. I want to show you a market. I'm getting delirious. I'm getting delirious here because I need food. I need some grilled lulas calamari. Right, so we're going to go back to this place. This place seems to have a really nice little braai going on. So let's see. Boa tarde.
Boa tarde.
Tem lulas fritas ou grelado?
Tenho as duas coisas. Tenho lulas fritas.
Yeah.
Não, tenho lulas grelhadas.
Okay.
E tenho choques fritos.
Choques fritos. Okay.
Choques é...
Yeah, é similar.
É sim.
Okay. A mesa para Yeah, it's a vlog. This is the name of the restaurant.
Yes.
A Peixaria?
Dos.
Dos. Okay.
The best in Matosinhos.
Okay. So it's the fishery number 2.
Yes.
So it's not the number 1, it's the number 2.
Yeah, but it's number 1 of the best.
But it's the number 1 of the number 2. Yeah.
That's it. You are alone?
Yes, yeah.
No, you are with us.
Yeah.
You are not alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside?
Yeah, please. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Give me just 1 moment, please.
Okay.
Just 1 moment.
So this guy's quite the character.
Sit there.
Thank you very much. This looks perfect.
Welcome, okay?
Absolutely perfect. All right, so they're basically saying that they have...
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is our starters. You pay what you eat. If you don't want, I'll come and remove it.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, excellent, thank you.
Yes, you are welcome,
Obrigado.
sir.
Okay. They brought me a whole bunch of stuff as a starter. We've got some prawns, some kind of a seafood sauce. We've got melon and ham. We've got cheese and ham. We've got some olives. We've got some bread. I think instead I'm going to have a look in the menu and find something. You know, this is nice, but I don't want to spoil my appetite on starters. So So they got, on the menu, they got lulas grillados, which is, they're calling grilled squid, but then they have something called chocos grillados or fritos, and they're calling that grilled or fried cuttlefish. And to be honest, I thought a cuttlefish was a squid, so I'm not sure if there's a difference, but yeah, I mean, I really like the fried stuff. The only thing is it's not the rings, you know, it's not the fried rings like what we get in South Africa. It's kind of like long, almost like fish finger shaped things usually, these chocos fritos. It's kind of different, but I think I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for a full dose. And maybe I'm going to try some white wine. I'm not really a wine drinker, but you know, we're doing seafood. This is a house wine. Okay.
Very, very good.
It's called
From Douro.
From Douro. Oh, perfect. This is exactly what I want to try. Thank you so much. Great. You guys probably know that I'm a barbarian and I just drink beer, you know. So I'm going to try and be sophisticated here and try some. Ooh, that does smell nice. Wow, that is very good. Very, very, very good. I think it's going to go really well with the chocos fritos. Yeah, let's see. I'm excited. It's still pretty early. The last thing I want to do is get absolutely sozzled on wine and beer. Though to be honest, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, would it? I mean, I am kind of on like a little mini break here. All right, it's arrived. So this is chocos fritos. Now, I have a friend from Portugal who told me that this is a poor person's dish, but I absolutely love it. And I guess that makes sense because I'm not exactly a rich man. Yeah, this is quite different from calamari in South Africa. It's like long pieces. With a little bit of lemon juice. It tastes pretty good. All right, so that was good. It wasn't quite like the calamari that I have in South Africa, but it was still very nice. The rest of the seafood here looks absolutely fantastic. Especially, just look at this. We can see some fresh fish on the barbecue. Look how amazing this stuff looks. Yeah, incredible. And it's all done on coals. So now I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to try and get the metro back to Porto. There we go. My phone's figured it out. For a second there, it was showing me weird directions. So we've got a little bit more walking to do. I mean, come on, it's such a beautiful day today. It's not a problem walking around, is it? Yeah, Gina's been messaging me from back on the farm and telling me that when she woke up it was 7 degrees Celsius. It was like freezing cold when she had to walk the dogs this morning, and that the whole day the wind's been blowing. So yeah, I've been sending her a couple of pictures of me drinking beer in Porto and sitting at the beach and stuff, and she's a little bit jealous. Sorry, Gina. You know, it's kind of weird. I didn't actually think I would actually do this much stuff. I thought I was just going to kind of come here, do the property video, maybe have a couple of beers here and there. I didn't realize I'd actually like end up eating a whole bunch of different food types and exploring the place and going on cable cars and taxis and trains and going to the beach. So yeah, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. It's all like a very impromptu trip, but I've enjoyed it so far. Hopefully it translates into a really good vlog. Who knows? Geez, I tell you what, calf muscles feel like steel. They're like rocks. They're like rock hard and like chiseled after all of this walking. It's crazy. When I woke up this morning, I could hardly get out of bed. I was like trying to stand on my calves and they were like absolutely burning. But yeah, it's not bad if you keep moving. What a cool vibe this place has. Huh? I mean, it's so relaxed. It's like, it doesn't feel like a big city. It feels like just a really chilled and relaxed environment. And this is the part of it that kind of reminds me a bit of South Africa, like Cape Town, where it's a city but it doesn't feel like a big city. It's not a big city, and you've got all these like amazing places to just chill and hang out, and everyone almost feels as if they're on holiday, like even the locals that are sitting at these restaurants, you know. And there's a lot of money around as well. I mean, geez, look at some of these cars. We got these crazy cars all over the place. And apartments out here in Porto are super expensive. You're looking at €250,000 for a 1-bedroom flat, you know, 1-bedroom apartment, nothing fancy. I mean, that is just crazy. But obviously if you move into like the center of Portugal, if you're living in central Portugal, things are a lot cheaper, but yeah, crazy. And these prices are just going to keep going up and up and up and up and up. So I think this is some of the wind that Gina was talking about. It's blowing from the Atlantic all the way inland probably. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's what I got to look forward to when I get back. This is pretty cool. Check this out. It's called Volt Store, and you can rent 8 hours for an e-bike or an e-motorcycle. €30, 1 day for €40, 2 to 4 days, $35 a day. 5 days plus, 30 bucks a day. That seems like a really cool place, or a really cool way to get around, get around the city. Check it out. Got this one over here, and we've got more of a sort of Vespa style scooter. Nice. I need to check that out the next time I'm here. Yeah, I definitely want to get myself like an e-motorcycle, an e-scooter or something. I think that's going to be like the next evolution, like I do like the e-bikes and stuff in Castelo Branco and stuff. I think it's time to move on to some of the e-motorcycles. So as I'm walking, I see this statue over here. This is like in memorial to some guy, Imagine being famous in those days. Like, you're so famous that they literally build a statue for you. Like nowadays, you basically get famous for creating a TikTok with a cat in it. Thank God they aren't building memorials for people like that. I have no idea what Passos Manuel did, but I'm sure it was probably pretty good for him to get a statue in the middle of this roundabout area. Right, so I'm trying to buy a ticket for the the metro, and nothing is working apart from I can change language. I can't cancel it. For some reason it's not accepting my card. I don't know. Oh wait, there we go. So if I go buy, and wait, let's change the language so we can see. Buy trip ticket. I want a Z4 trip ticket. I want one of them. And then I don't want to use my tax number. And then it asks for card payment. And when I go to card payment, it doesn't actually work. I'm not going to take my card out now because I only have one hand when I'm with the camera. And then I go back in this loop where it just basically doesn't work. So it's like a real pain. And then you go to order cancelled, and then it just sits on the screen. And I don't have coins on me. I just gave them all to the waiter. I gave him a nice tip. So I'm out of money. So I think I'm going to have to be lazy and get myself another Uber. Okay, so I can get an Uber for €7.97, which is pretty damn good. And I can't buy a ticket for this tram thing. And this tram apparently is going to take about half an hour. Then I have to swap lines and get onto another line. So I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to be lazy. It's a real shame. I really wanted to hop onto one of those things. I don't know. I'm going to have to save it for next time. I'm definitely coming back to Porto. I mean, there's so much to see and do here. I've just scratched the surface, walking around aimlessly with Google Maps and ChatGPT. So, yeah, I think I need to plan like a better trip and actually come back here and do this place justice at some point. So I picked up my bags from the hotel and, extra bags. And now I've got to head back. It's the end. It's nearly the end. I might be able to get up to some more mischief or something. I'm not sure. But for now, I'm going to walk to the station. It says it's about 40 minutes walk. I'm actually really enjoying walking around Porto. It's actually a really nice city to walk around. I mean, you wouldn't catch me walking 40 minutes around Castelo Branco, because I'd just be walking like next to some farmers' fields and stuff like that. So it is kind of different doing it out here. But it's nice, it's interesting. And wow, there's some incredible cars. I mean, check this out. Porsche GT3. Crazy. But yeah, I've enjoyed making this vlog. I'm on my own, so I'm kind of, when I pull out my camera and I'm speaking to you guys, even though I can't see you, I'm kind of, it's not like I'm doing it for myself. It almost feels strangely sociable, like I've got you guys with me when we're doing stuff. So yeah, I've enjoyed it. I hope the vlog translates well into something fun and enjoyable to watch. I hope I've inspired you to come and visit Portugal, maybe go to Porto, and yeah. Geez, Google Maps is taking me down some crazy paths here to get to the station. There's like all these like old ruins and stuff here. It looks like there's people squatting inside here. I mean, if I was in South Africa now, I would not be walking in this space, but I'm in Porto. It feels quite safe. What's the worst that could happen, huh? Yeah, I mean, there is a feeling that you get here that you are safe. It's like Lisbon. Lisbon's pretty safe. There's a couple of little areas in Lisbon where it's not so safe, but I mean, the majority of it is perfectly safe. And it's probably the same. I'm probably walking around in an area here which is not so good, but I don't know. Lots of abandoned old houses and stuff. Sheesh, man. I'll tell you what, tomorrow when I wake up, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to move my legs. This has been like the most amount of walking I've done in years. It's been nice though. I've actually really enjoyed it. Psst, 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 psst. Hello little cat, look how sweet you are. You've got a collar, you're well looked after, and you're also quite friendly. Psst, 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 psst. Yeah, I have no idea where I am right now. Well, I mean, Google Maps knows where I am, but it's very like, it's quite rural. I mean, I almost feel like I'm in like Castelo Branco or something. It's quite cool. Yeah, it's a really interesting area. I mean, obviously at night time people are coming here and tagging the walls and stuff, so it's probably, you know, it's probably not the safest area for your property and stuff, you know. People are definitely coming here and hopping over fences and things, but it's kind of interesting, huh? I wonder how old these buildings are here. This is a big piece of land. This must be worth quite a bit of money. Yeah, I'm starting to regret that I didn't catch an Uber taxi. This is getting quite narrow, this road, and there's cars coming through here. At least I can hear a car coming. I don't know where it is. I think it's all at the end. What a weird little road. I imagine back in the days this was like just used by horses and carts and things, so it's not really designed for cars, you know. Right, this is going to get interesting. Is this guy coming past me? Nah, he's turning. Good. Wow, it's just so weird. It almost feels like, it feels really rural. It doesn't feel like we're in a city, and yet we definitely are in the city. We're on our way to the main sort of bus station. Crazy. I suppose it probably feels rural because it's taken up all of the tar and everything. So yeah, I just got to go down here. Got another 10 minutes. Cool. So the Uber to the station, for, you know, to save myself 40 minutes walking was only like €4, just under €5. So really not too bad, you know. And obviously, like, if you don't want to walk around and have sore legs, then you can just pretty much Uber anywhere you want to go, which is super handy. But I mean, I need the exercise. I felt like walking, and like walking around like this is definitely the best way to see a city, you know. You can really smell and see and hear everything, see what's going on. Boa And that right there is the big difference, you know. Castelo Branco, you walk past anyone and you say boa tarde and everyone's super friendly. Ah, boa tarde. Say boa tarde to those guys over there, they will look at you like you're crazy. Look at this awesome alleyway over here. How cool is this? It almost looks like something that I saw in Bangkok in Thailand. Alright, we've made it, finally. So this looks like it here. We got the metro, we've also got a sign for, is that no, that's a sign for the metro, not for the bus. I don't know, I've got to cross like about 20 rail tracks to get to the other side, to get to the bus station. I think it's probably down here, I really don't know. I mean, what's like another 100 stairs, you know? At least I got some shoes on now and I'm not walking around in flip-flops. So what an epic voyage, eh? We came, we saw, we ate, we drank, we traveled, been all over the place. Yeah, it's been pretty cool, and now I'm pretty tired. So I think once I get onto this bus and I can sit in my chair, it's going to be much better. Geez, I'm getting a bit lost here. I'm guessing that's a bus. Is that a bus? I really don't know. I don't know, I was on this side already, so, but yeah, I'm tired now. I think all of the, well, I think the white wine nailed me. I'm not used to white wine. So I'm feeling a little bit, but at least I got one of these things to ride on. Look at that. Nice. All right, disaster averted. I found the bus station. It's quite complicated to get to this bus station. Who would have thought? But yeah, we are here now, and I've got a little bit of time to spare, so it's all good. Yeah, it's actually quite funny. Even though I haven't done a vlog in ages, while I was standing here, while I was walking past, some people recognized me from one of my videos. So it was quite cool to see that even if I haven't done one for a while, that there's still people out there watching. Right, I can finally relax. I'm on the bus. It's quite busy here actually. I think this bus is going to be quite full. Basically, on Flixbus, it allows you to book 2 seats. So I've managed to get both of these seats. The extra seat only costs $5, so it gives me a little bit more space where I can spread out a little bit with my bags. And I got myself a tablet. It's like over 3 hours. I think it's 3.5 hours trip. So I got myself a tablet. I got some Netflix and stuff to watch. And this is where I'm going to sign off. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon for another vlog. All the best. Ciao.